Starting today, I've been looking at your iReady scores. I'm not real happy with the times that we're posting. Some of us didn't do any at all last week. Some of us did 2 hours and 30 minutes last week. Some of us did 20 minutes last week. Guys, it is required that you do 30 minutes a day. iReady is going to start counting as a mastery grade for the week. So if you do not do at least 2.5 hours, you will not get an A. And it's going to work backwards from the 2.5 hours. So if you do 2.5 hours, you get the A. If you do 2 hours, you get B. If you do an hour and a half, you get a C. An hour is a D. And anything less than an hour is an F. So make sure that you are doing your iReady every day. So for those of you that didn't do it yesterday, you have an hour to do already. So I'm not using last week's as a grade, but starting this week, I'm going to use it as a grade. So make sure you're doing the iReady math. Don't forget it. All right. The other thing that I need to go over with you is the paper that we did for homework yesterday. I need you to send me a picture of that paper so I can see your answers. I've already gotten some of them, but these are the people that need to send it to me. Caleb, Sophia E., Dejan, Andre, Gianna, Daniela, Jaden, Camilla R., Jocelyn, Miliani, Leon, Veronica, Brenalise, Ramel, Sarah A., Alexander, Sophia B., Mia, Jasmine, Emma, Asia, Camilla Lopez, Maria, Amari, Joshua, Darlene, Sarah R., Lillian, Ricardo, Luciana, and Emmanuel. If I did not call out your name, that means I've already gotten the email from your parents with that page attached. Again, it's page 499, and it was yesterday's homework. So they need to take a picture and send it to me. All right? Of yesterday's homework, guys. Okay, remember, if you have a question, we don't yell out. We type, I have a question over in the box. Jasmine, you had another question earlier. Can I answer a question for you?
Never mind, I figured it out.
Okay, all right. So make sure that you have page 499 done. Get your parents to take a picture of it and email it to me.
Ms. Blackmon, I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm Sarah. Hey.
Gotcha. I just got to get over there to mark you here.
Okay. Ms. Blackmon, it doesn't let me send the picture. Every time I want to take the picture, it won't let me send. I'm going to have to show you it. Is that fine?
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of class.
Okay.
All right, so again, for those of you that have just joined us, you're taking a picture of last night's homework and you're sending it to me. Okay? Take a picture of last night's homework and send it to me. I already see some of you are sending it in. Thank you. All right, for today's lesson, we're going to start with science because it's the easiest thing to start with. You have a science packet that you got today. Yesterday, you watched the video on metamorphosis on Brain Pop, and you learned that the difference between complete and incomplete metamorphosis. You learned that complete metamorphosis is a complete change in what it starts out as a baby and what it becomes as an adult. So it starts out as an egg, then it becomes a larva, which is a worm-like animal, so like a caterpillar, a worm-like. Then it becomes a pupa, which is like your chrysalis or your silkworms make a silk cocoon. And then once they come out of that pupa stage, they become adults. Now, there is a beetle that does this, and that beetle, it has the egg. The larva is a mealworm, and when it becomes a pupa, it shrinks down and looks like this little bitty, it looks like it's a little bitty dead thing, a little bitty dead bug. And then it becomes a beetle after that pupa stage. The pupa stage can take anywhere from 3 or 4 days up to 2 weeks, maybe even a little longer. All right. So that's complete metamorphosis. Incomplete metamorphosis is where you have an egg, and then you have the nymph, and then you have the adult. And the nymph looks like the adult. Okay? So the nymph, or what I would call the middle stage, looks like the adult. Okay? So I want you to think of incomplete as the egg. Then let's go with your teenage years, and then your adult. And for the complete metamorphosis, you have the egg, then you have the larva stage, which we'll call the child. And then we have the pupa, that's the teenager. And the reason I call the pupa a teenager is because teenagers would rather sleep or play video games than do anything, so they just become these little bitty things that don't do much. So I call the pupa the teenage stage, and then the adult. All right? So on the packet today, what you're going to do is there's material for you to read at the front. That is all I'm going to ask you to do, is read the material at the front. There's no writing today. There's no watching a video. You're just going to read the first part of the packet. All right? Are there any questions about metamorphosis that I can answer at this time?
What packet?
It was attached to the Sunday afternoon email. Yes, Jasmine. Jasmine, you have a question?
Yeah, is it this packet?
It is.
Yeah, I did it.
Okay. All I want you to do is read through it for today. Read through the first parts. Lillian, what's your question?
What packet are you talking about?
In the Sunday afternoon email that I sent with all the math lessons, there's one, and it looks like it's ran together. It says complete and incomplete metamorphosis. It was the very last attachment. All right. Good morning, Celine. Celine.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So again, math from yesterday, I need a picture. And then, are there any other questions about incomplete or complete metamorphosis? Incomplete or complete metamorphosis? All right. All right, we're going to move on to math. Math today, you're going to be looking at 9.9. 9.9 or 9-9. We are jumping around a little bit because some of the stuff that they have, there's not any reason for you to know, so we're not teaching it to you. So what we're looking at today is adding mixed numbers. Lillian, you have a question?
I already answered my question.
All right. All right, so we're looking at adding mixed numbers. So the first page you have is page 514. 514. Now, before we go on any further, Okay, I need y'all to mute your mics. Mute your mics. All right, before we go any further, I want to go over something with y'all. When we have a fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, that's like this first problems, 2 problems on my board. Okay, you see the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the bottom number. All right, when we have that, our line on our fraction means to divide. So the line right here means divide. And I can't write upside down, so when we have a fraction that has a line, all fractions have a line, it means to divide. So if my denominator is smaller than my numerator, it means I divide my denominator into my numerator. So this would be like saying 3 divided into 6. So it would look like that. How many times does 3 go into 6? 2. So the answer to this one would be the whole number 2. We're on page, this is not on a page. I'm going over this first. All right. The other part, the other one on here is 12 over 7. Again, that means 7 divided into 12. Seven divided into 12. How many times does 7 go into 12? It goes in 1 time. And if I subtract, it leaves me 5. And I put that over 7. Okay? If you don't understand this part right now, it's okay. We will go back over it. I just wanted to show you, so if you do understand it, you can do it on the problems. All right? All right. We're going to move to page 515. 515. Okay, Lillian, I just said if you don't get it, it's okay. We're going to do it another time. This is just kind of an introduction to it. For those people that understand it, I've already got some people working it this way. That's fine. I just wanted to show it to you. All right? It's not something you're going to have to do today. All right. So when we are adding fractions, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the fractions. Then the second thing is we're going to add the whole numbers. Okay, then the last thing, if you know how to do this up here, you're going to change it into a mixed number. That's why I have it starred here. Because if you don't know how to do it, you're not going to do it. You're just going to simply add. All right? So let's look at, on page 515, number 3. I have it written right here. It's 1 7/8. Plus 1 2/8. Is everybody with me? We're on page 515. Okay, so following my rules, the first thing I want to do is add my fractions. So I've got 7 over 8 plus 2 over 8. I know 7 and 2 is 9 over 8. Now I'm going to add my whole numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2. As long as you have this answer, today it is right. For those of you that know how to change it, you know that 8, and I'm going to go down here and work it. 8 goes into 9 1 time, and that leaves 1. So 1 plus the 2 you already have gives me 3 1/8. Again, you do not have to do this part. We're on page 515. 515. All right, the next one, number 4 on that page, is 2 4/10 plus 5 5/10. Again, add the fraction. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So 4 and 5 is 9/10. Then it says add the whole numbers. 2 plus 5 is 7. And I'm done. And I'm done. Jasmine, all I did was add the fractions and add the whole number. That's all you have to do today. Don't worry about this. I'm only showing those people who get it that are already doing it. So you're following numbers 1 and 2. You're adding the fraction, then you're adding the whole number. All right, let's look at number 5. Number 5 is written this way, across. You can leave it that way, or you can write it like the rest of them. So 4 2/3 times, or plus 1 2/3. All right, I add the fraction first. 2 plus 2 is 4/3. And then I add the whole number. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, if you don't want to write it out, you can do it up here just the same. Because you know 2 plus 2 is 4/5. And you know 4 plus 1 is 5. This should be 3, sorry. Not 5. So you get 5 4/3. Okay, let's look at number 6. Number 6. Good morning, Daniela.
Good morning.
Number 6 is 6 plus 5/12 plus 4 and 11/12. I add my fractions first. 5 plus 11 is 16/12, and 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Okay, same thing up here. 5 plus 11 is 16/12, and 6 plus 4 is 10. Lillian, you're just adding. You're adding the fractions, number 1, and then you're adding the whole numbers. That's all you do. Add the fractions, add the whole numbers. All right, I want you to do numbers 7 and 8. Do numbers 7 and 8. Do numbers 7 and 8 on page 515 right now. 7 and 8. Daniela, you need to have Mom take a picture of your math from yesterday, the homework, and send it to me, okay?
Miss Blackmon, I still don't hear you. Can you say the questions again?
Okay. Daniela, did you hear me about the homework from yesterday? Okay, I need Mom to take a picture of the homework from yesterday, page 499, and send it to me, okay?
Let's tell her to print it.
Okay, but I need you to work it, and I need the problems worked, okay? All right. Who told me they still don't get it? Who's me? Okay, Miliani, add the fractions, then add the whole number.
So you just add the whole number together?
Yeah, and add the fractions together. That's all you're doing.
Do you still keep the bottom number the same?
Yes, on the fractions, yes. All right, number 7 says 2 1/3 plus 2 1/3. So it looks like this. Okay, I can add it across this way, or if I need to, I can write it this way. If this helps you to write it this way, then write it this way. All right? Lillian, the math homework from yesterday. All right, guys, focus on what we're doing today. Focus on what we're doing today. All right, so on number 7, if I want to add it this way, first I add my fractions, because that's what it tells me to do. So first I add my fractions. So 1 plus 1 is 2 over 3. Again, I can add it this way, 2 over 3. Then it says add my whole numbers. So 2 plus 2 is 4, or if you wrote it this way, 2 plus 2 is 4. So you get 4 2/3. All right, number 8 was 8 9/12 plus 5 5/12. All right, it's in your book this way. You can work it this way, or you can write it this way to help you out if you need to. Either way is fine. All right, I keep the 12. 9 plus 5 is 14, and then 8 plus 5 is 13. Here, I keep the 12. 9 plus 5 is 14. 8 plus 5 is 13. So I get the same answer. It depends on if you can work it across this way or if you need to write it up and down. And before you ask, for those of you that do know how to change this already, it would be 14 1/12. This I don't expect from anybody right now, okay? Because y'all have not learned it. But some of you do know how to do it. If you do know how to do it and you want to do it, go ahead and try. But this is the answer I'm looking for. All right? All right, I want you to do numbers 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, and 21 right now. Again, those numbers are 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, 21. These are the numbers you're doing right now. Daniela, I sent everything you were going to need for the days on Sunday afternoon. So it's in that email. It'll say 9-9 Tuesday.
You sent it to my mom?
Yep. Yep.
I'll tell her to print it out.
We're doing numbers 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, and 21 on page 515. Again, page 515, 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, 21. Guys, listen the first time around, please. I don't have time to sit and repeat these all the time. Page 515, numbers 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, 21. No, just have her do 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, and 21, please. All right, we're going to start with number 11. I've got it on my board here. All right, so number 11, we start by adding the fractions first. So we're going to add, we know the fractions are going to be over 6, because that's what's on that's the denominator. So we're going to add the numerators. 5 plus 4 is 9. Now we add the whole numbers. 2 plus 5 is 7. That's the only answer I need. Now, if you know how to change this into a mixed number, absolutely you can do it. Okay? You would have gotten 1 and 3, 6. Don't do this if you don't know how to do it. Just do this. This is all I'm looking for, is the main answer. Does everybody understand that? I'm not looking for this. So if you do not know how to do it, don't worry about it. Just the main answer. All right, number 13. My denominator is 8, so it stays the same. I add my numerator. 7 plus 5 is 12. And then 9 plus 7 is 16. So I get 16 and 12/8. Again, if you know how to do it, you would get 12 and 4/8. This is the answer I'm looking for, but if you know how to do it, you can do that. But you do not have to. Okay? All right. Number 16. We're going to add the fractions first. So they're going to be over 12. 7 plus 9 is 16. 9 plus 4 is 13.
Miss Blackmon,
Yes.
what did you say for number 13?
To right here.
I can't see it.
16 and 12/8.
Okay.
All right, number 17 would have been 13 and 16/12. Again, for those of you that know how to do it, you would have gotten 14 and 4/12. Again, you do not have to do this part. You're just looking for the main answer. All right, number 18. We have 3/4 and 3/4. So I know I'm going to keep it over 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then you have 8 plus 7 is 15. So I'm looking for 15 and 6 over 4. Again, for those of you that know how to do it, this would change to 16 and 2/4. Again, you do not have to do this. I just want the main answer for now. Okay, number 19. Add the fractions first. I know they're going to be over 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then my whole numbers. 2 plus 7 is 9. So 9 and 7/5. For those of you that know how to do it, you would have gotten 10 and 2/5. Again, not something you have to do now. All I want is this answer right here. And 21 is the fraction's going to be over 12. 7 plus 10 is 17 over 12. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So you would have gotten 3 and 17 over 12. 3 and 17 over 12. For those of you that know how to do it, you would have gotten 4 and 5/12. Again, this is the answer I'm looking for. You do not have to do this yet. We're going to learn that, but you don't have to do it yet. All right. Are there any questions about how to add what's called a mixed number, which means it's a whole number and a fraction? Do I have any questions about how to add those? Remember, the first thing you do is add the fractions, just like you've been doing. The second thing you do is add the whole numbers. That's the only two things you got to remember. Add the fractions, add the whole numbers. Add the fractions, add the whole numbers. All right. Let me see. Did you ever join us? David? And Elise, did you ever join us? Amari, did you ever join us? All right. If I said your name and you can't talk to me, at least type here in the comment box. All right. Please remember that we need to keep the mics muted unless we're asking a question. All right. So on these problems for today, you're going to look at page 517. 517. That is your homework for today. You're doing 1 through 12. 1 through 12. On page 517. 1 through 12. Page 517. 1 through 12. Remember, in science, you're reading through your packet. You don't have to write anything today. You're just reading through it. And then remember that I need a picture of yesterday's homework. I need a picture of yesterday's homework. All right. Are there any questions for today? Yes.
Did you get my picture?
I have not looked at emails to see what pictures I've gotten.
The page was 517.
Today is 517, 1 through 12. 517, 1 through 12. Guys, remember, if you have a question, you need to write it over in the side so I don't have 5 people trying to talk at once. All right. Also remember, Luciana, I'll get to you in just a minute. Also remember, I already math. You need to do at least 2.5 hours a week to get your A for the week. You do 2 hours, you get a B. 3 hours, or an hour and a half a C. An hour a D. And below an hour is an F. You must be doing I-ready math. Luciana, what's your question?
Miss Blackmon, I wasn't here and I just came.
Okay. So on page 517 is your homework, 1 through 12. And the way you work these, you add the fractions first, and then you add the whole numbers. So I've got 3/4 and, no, I've got 5/4 and 4/6. So I'm over 6. 4 plus 5 is 9, just like we did add fractions before. And then you just add the whole numbers. So 2 and 5 is 7. All right? Sophia E., please stop while I'm explaining something to somebody. I'll get with you in a minute. Luciana, do you understand it now?
Yes, and what do I have to send you a picture of?
Page 499. Page 499, yesterday's homework.
Okay.
All right, if you have a question, go ahead and type. I have a question over in the comment box so I can get to you. Sophia E., what did you need, honey?
My mom can send it.
I know, I'm going to get with you in just a minute. Does anybody else have any questions about math or science?
Blackmon.
Yes?
I sent you. My mom sent you the page 400.
Yes, I got yours. I got yours. Yep, you're good. All right, anybody else?
Miss Blackmon.
Yes, Lillian.
My mom sent you the picture for the homework.
Okay, I haven't been able to look at any emails because I've been teaching. So as soon as I can look at the emails, I'll get all that. Lillian, did you have a question?
Yes. What do we do for science?
You got a packet to read through. You just need to read about incomplete and complete metamorphosis. You do not need to complete any pages on it yet.
Okay.
All right?
My mom didn't print it out.
That's-
I had it on my tablet.
Yeah, that's okay. You can pull it up on your tablet and read it.
Okay.
All right? Just because you don't have to print everything out, guys. You can pull it up and look at it and copy down the problems or put the answers to science in a notebook. You don't have to have everything printed.
Okay.
All right? All right. If you don't have any questions, remember your iReady. On your iReady, guys, go back and do some of the ones you didn't pass.
I have a question.
Go back and do some of the ones you didn't pass so that maybe your score will go higher. All right, if you do, hold on a minute. If you do not have any questions, Sophia E., you stay on here. If you do not have any questions, you can go ahead and hang up. If you still have a question, stay on. Yashua, what do you need, bud?
How can you get into a Teens with Miss